Welcome everyone to the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check the schedule on the website for more information. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that's going to be Columbia College Chicago.
Hi, thank you for having me. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing the proper display right now. I want to thank you so much once again for allowing me to give you just a brief introduction about who we are as an institution. Once again, my name is Kat Lewis. I'm one of the assistant directors at Columbia College Chicago. I have my contact information listed on the screen. I'm actually covering tonight for one of my awesome colleagues, Marty Kane, who typically handles this part of the country and who is wonderful. So if you get my contact information, I'll be happy to connect you with Marty. I'm going to go ahead and get started and just tell you a little bit about who we are as an institution. Columbia, we're located in downtown Chicago in a neighborhood called the South Loop. We're across the street from Grant Park, which is where Lollapalooza happens each year. We're only about 1 mile long and 3 blocks wide, and within that we have about 22 buildings on our campus. That includes our resident centers, which we have 4 of them that are open to all students at whatever level they're at the school, whether freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. And our school really does pride itself on allowing our students to really get deep into what they're hoping to study at college at the very beginning. So what is it like to be a Columbia student? Well, you're surrounded by a lot of other students. Creativity is our main thing. You're around that about 24/7, to be honest. We love to blend our degrees with business. And we're loving to also offer lots of transferable skills to our students. You get an opportunity to collaborate and network across different mediums, as well as across departments. And as I mentioned, you do jump into your industry as soon as you arrive at Columbia, which is awesome. In addition to that, we do really have a one-of-a-kind college experience. So you're still getting a lot of your traditional college experiences at Columbia for sure, which I'll get into a little bit more in a second, but we do have a creative spin to it. Currently, right now, we are at about 6,700 undergraduate students on our campus, so we're pretty close to 7,000 students. 99% of our students at Columbia do receive some sort of aid from us or the federal government. And then we have typically about class sizes around 15 to 20 students on average. If you're getting into your classes that are specific to your major, class sizes are even smaller than that. And right now within our student body, about 57% of our students do identify as students of color. We have about 100 plus majors and programs, some of which are listed on the screen, just to give you a highlight of a few, such as film and television, BA, Bachelor of Art, as well as a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Art, even over to music business BA, to ASL, English interpretation, so American Sign Language BA. So we have quite a bit to offer. I would really encourage students to visit our website at colum.edu/majors to get more information about those majors that we have, as well as our minor offerings. And as I mentioned before, we do have at the core of our programs of study a liberal arts course. So students are still taking English, humanities, science, math courses, but you're taking them along with your major courses starting your freshman year instead of front loading the classes, not getting into them until you are junior or senior. Something that makes us very unique is our awesome faculty members at Columbia. Many of them are actually writers themselves, or activists, or poets, or researchers. They're educators, but they have a wide range of information about what's going on in the current industry, as well as what's going on in the classroom. So they can really offer our students a lot of knowledge about their current industries, and offer up some opportunities to collaborate with them on special projects that they might be working on. So our students really do create and learn and get feedback from these industry professionals each and every day. Just to give you a quick summary about how to apply, we are rolling admission, so no early action at Columbia. We accept applications all year long. We are completely test blind. We do not take a look at test scores for the admissions process, nor do we look at them for scholarship offerings. We're holistic, as I mentioned, rolling admissions. Auditions and portfolios do vary by major, so it really depends on what you're looking to study. And we do recommend that students fill out the FAFSA because we can get a copy of that and hopefully do another evaluation on top of our automatic merit-based evaluation. Quickly to let you know about our aid options. If you apply for admission, fill out a FAFSA as well as submit an optional portfolio for your BA or required portfolio for BFA or BMUS. You'll be considered for all of the maximum amount of scholarships that we offer any student. 97% of our students coming in did receive an aid package of close to $26,000, and 96% of our transfer students closer to about $24,000. As I wrap up, I just want to let you know that we were recently featured on the College Tour, which is an Amazon show that goes around the different college campuses across the country. Our episode actually will be airing, I believe, in March, but if you go to this link that I've provided here, you can actually check out the full episode right now and get a head start. All right, well, thank you so much for allowing me to give you some brief information about Columbia. I'll be sharing my contact information in the chat, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Next up, we have Illinois Institute of Technology.
All righty, everyone. Thank you. My name is Will. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the Illinois Institute of Technology. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited to share a little bit about our university with you this evening. Like Columbia, we are also in Chicago, not too far from Columbia's campus, actually, just about a 10 to 15-minute train ride south. We are located in between two neighborhoods, Bridgeport and Bronzeville. You can see a little of our campus here in this photo, and then the great skyline of Chicago. As I said, about 10 minutes on the train, so it's not nearly as far away as it actually looks in this photo. Now, in terms of who Illinois Tech is from a student body and from sort of a majors makeup, Illinois Tech, we are a STEM-based institution. So our students are studying in things like engineering, computer science, architecture, or they might be doing more interdisciplinary work. I'm going to go into all of those majors on the next slide, just to give you a quick overview there. We do also have about 3,100 undergraduate students, so it is a relatively small school. It's a place where you're definitely going to get a chance to get to know the people you see on a regular basis, but not necessarily every single person that you see on campus. We do have a pretty diverse community coming from all across the US as well as the world itself, with 80 countries represented at Illinois Tech. And we have plenty of students from the West Coast. I'm actually the West Coast admissions counselor and work with all of our applicants from your region. We have 0 impacted majors, so you can start out in your major your very first semester on campus. And yes, that does include in our computer science and engineering programs. All of our undergraduate courses are taught by professors, and they will also be your academic advisors. So we know how important it is for you to build connections with those folks, and we'll help to do that. Now, Illinois Tech is broke into basically 5 individual colleges. You're going to have the engineering school, home to all of those engineering programs that I mentioned earlier. We also have our architecture school with the only 5-year degree plan you see on the screen here. That one is a professional degree option. We then have our College of Computing, which is the newest college at Illinois Tech, home to computer science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, or even an information technology management program for those of you who might like computers, but not necessarily love math quite as much. Great option for you, more of an applied approach. We then have our College of Science and Letters, home to quite a few majors, as you can see. Those include all of our lab-based programs, biology, physics, chemistry, things like that, as well as our human science-focused work, maybe psychological sciences, social and economic development, or some of that interdisciplinary work. So if you want to learn about how the food industry works, how we get food from farm to grocery store on a global scale, our food science and nutrition program could be a great fit for you. Lastly is our Stewart School of Business. This is home to the Business Administration program that really gives you a great opportunity to take business, merge it with one of those STEM fields. So maybe you want to do that with medicinal chemistry and go to work in the pharmaceutical industry, or you want to go into automotive work in the future, and you could do that by doing business and mechanical engineering together. Lots of great options for students to merge those fields. Other thing I'll point out on this slide here is those pre-professional programs in the center. We do have pathways available for law, dental, pharmacy, optometry, as well as medical programs. So we do encourage you to learn a little bit more about those if you think you might get on a pre-professional pathway. We're definitely a hands-on university. We're going to challenge you to get involved in undergraduate research as early as your first year on campus. We want you to be involved with those professors. We want you to really get that hands-on experience. And so we support that as early as year one. Another way we do that is through interprofessional projects, or iPro. It's a year-long problem-solving course that all students take here at Illinois Tech. Gives you a chance to show off kind of the best parts of your experience and your major in your junior or senior year. Lastly, you'll see on the slide here is Elevate. This is kind of an overarching umbrella that does oversee both research and iPro, but also can help you expand your reach outside of Illinois Tech and even outside of Chicago, doing study away trips, possibly internationally or within the US, going on internships, doing co-ops, those types of experiences. Now, in terms of what it's like to be a student from a clubs and organizations perspective, there's plenty to be involved in, over 150 clubs on campus. Some of those are going to be cultural, religious organizations. Some might be academic in nature, or they could just be shared interest clubs. We have plenty of ways for you to stay competitive through NCAA athletics, esports, or even intramural athletics. And then we do have fraternities and sororities on campus. As a reminder, we're 10 minutes from downtown Chicago. So if you can't find something on campus, you can easily hop on the train and head into the city. We are a residential campus and do provide housing all 4 years for students. So you've got plenty of choices at Illinois Tech, whether you want to live in Row Village, which you see on the screen now, which is more of a suite style residence, or you'd like to live in one of our more dormitory or apartment style options. Applying to Illinois Tech is relatively simple. We're a Common App institution. We're going to ask you to submit your high school transcript and 1 letter of recommendation. We will then use all of that information to consider your application. We're looking for mostly an A/B average, and we are test optional this year. Now, we do have early decision as well as early action timelines available for students. So I definitely encourage you to jump on our website, make sure you know those deadlines. Early action, November 15th, puts you in the running for up to full tuition scholarships. So some great options there for students. Really quickly, here is some of that scholarship information. As I said, up to full tuition awards are available. I'd encourage you to jump on the website, see if you might be a good fit for some of these applications that are these scholarships that do require separate applications, the ones you see here on the bottom of the screen. And then lastly, I encourage you to think about maybe learning more about one of these fields if you might be a younger student. We do have pre-college programs in the summer months. Those include both day camps as well as residential experiences for students in all of these different areas I mentioned. So thank you so much, and happy to answer any questions in the chat.
Thank you so much. All right, next up we have Loyola University Chicago.
All right, let's just jump right in. Hi, everyone. My name is Tara Crisp. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions with Loyola University Chicago. So let's just get started. One thing I like to do when I'm talking to students about Loyola is just to really talk about the things that make us different and unique and special, because there's lots of wonderful universities out there, and especially tonight where we're hearing from a lot of schools in the Chicagoland area. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what makes Loyola special. And the first thing is definitely going to be our students. So we have about 17,000 students on our campus. 11,600 are going to be undergraduate. So we're a mid-sized university. I think it's a really nice size because you're still going to have all of those academic and social resources of a big school, but you're still going to have those close-knit communities that a lot of students are looking for. You can see here we have a pretty diverse student population. We have students coming from 50 states, 121 different countries, 46% of our students are students of color, and we really strive to be a home of all different faiths. So we are a Catholic Jesuit institution, and we are really focused on care of the whole person, global awareness, service, social justice. But we really want all of our students to feel very comfortable. So it's a very inclusive environment. We really believe in not only equipping our students to be ready for the workforce, but to also be citizens, ready to be community members and be ready to give back and make the world a better place. So the other thing I like to talk about is our location. So we have 2 undergraduate campuses in the city of Chicago. So the 2 top pictures that you see there are of our Lakeshore campus. It's right on the shores of Lake Michigan, so it's very beautiful, right in a residential neighborhood. And this is going to give you a very traditional college experience. Now, 8 miles south is going to be our Water Tower campus, and it's going to lie right in the heart of downtown Chicago, right off of Michigan Avenue. And this is going to be home to students that are studying business, communications, social work, education, and also our law school. So you can definitely say that we have the best of both worlds. We have that very traditional residential campus combined with a more metropolitan, fast-paced one. The last thing I want to talk about is just the overall Loyola experience that kind of sets us apart. We offer over 80 different majors and minors. We offer 55 5-year dual degree programs. So that means that there are 55 different ways that you can stay for 1 extra year and get your graduate degree done. We also have a renowned medical school and a law school. Our most well-known undergraduate programs are going to be within the health sciences, including a direct entry nursing program. Our School of Business is actually the #1 undergraduate business program in the city of Chicago. Communications is very strong, and we also have an entire school of environmental sustainability. Outside of the classroom, our students are very active in over 250 different student organizations. Those are going to range from Greek life to Division I sports, along with club and intramurals. Another big piece of our institution is studying abroad. About 1 in 3 of all of our students are going to have an international experience. We have a partnership in over 70 different countries, but we also have our own university abroad. So we have Loyola in Rome, and we also have Loyola in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. So we make studying abroad very easy and very affordable for all of our students. Lastly, so we are continuously ranked in one of the top schools for service and engagement. We've got an amazing success rate. 98% of our students are either employed or in grad school within 3 months of graduating. And yeah, I'd be ashamed not to mention some of our sustainability efforts. Right now, we're ranked 5th greenest college campus in the country. Last year we were 3rd. So that's always really fun. So just quickly about our application, you can apply for free. That is right. You can apply for free through the Common App, the Coalition app, or through our own application. We do a holistic review process, and we are test optional. So we have one deadline. It's a priority deadline of December 1st. So there's no early action, no early decision. We're rolling admissions. So that means we read applications upon completion. And that December 1st deadline is a soft deadline, but it does get you priority consideration for merit scholarship and admission. And you'll want to do that because we do a lot of merit scholarships. 98% of our students are receiving some sort of merit scholarship, with the average package being $30,000 a year. So it does make a private school a little bit more affordable for most students. And it has put us on the list of schools for best value by US News and World Report. So this is my contact information here. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the chat as well. I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, and take care.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Southern Illinois University.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Southern Illinois University. We're going to move about 5.5 hours south in the state, and we're at the very bottom of the state. We are surrounded by the Shawnee National Forest. Absolutely gorgeous territory. If you're any bit of an outdoors person, you'll absolutely enjoy your experience at SIU from that perspective. We have over 10,000 undergraduate students at SIU, about 13,000 if we include our graduate school. We have over 200 programs that you can choose from, so very diverse. So if you're coming in as a freshman, not knowing exactly what you want to do, SIU might be the opportunity for you. You may actually be able to start in research opportunities as a freshman. If that's something you're interested in doing, SIU is very supportive of that. We have Truth in Tuition at SIU. We have over $10 million offered in scholarships and grants annually. We offer legacy tuition rates. If your parents graduated from SIU, we also offer that 20% discount. And we have over 90% of our students who have received some form of financial aid assistance, which is a beautiful thing. We have many scholarship opportunities out there for you to check out, and those are actually automatic. As soon as you apply to SIU and you send in your transcripts to us, we actually will evaluate them and look at those for these academic scholarships that are in front of you. We also offer the University Excellence Scholarship at a 3.8 GPA or higher, and that's a wonderful opportunity for you. Housing, we have been told we've had some of the largest residence halls in Illinois, and they are very nice. They're not home, but they're not a closet either, which is a beautiful thing. So we have our East Campus and West Campus, along with a dining hall in each section. And the dining is completely included in all that. It's unlimited. We have vegan choices, vegetarian choices, and there's actually a Mongolian grill in one. We offer our housing is suite style. We are NCAA Division I sports, and we're part of the Missouri Valley Conference. And we also offer women's soccer now that just started last year, so we're pretty excited about that. Our tuition, our budget right there, that's our 2021 budget as well. For about 30 credit hours, you're looking at about $96.38 for the year, along with your fees at $52.66, and then your room and board of $10,622. That includes your dining. Right now, our application fee is $40. We are rolling admissions, so you can actually apply online directly through siu.edu and click on Apply Now, or we also are on the Common App. You can have your high school counselor send the transcripts directly to us, and we will evaluate them. You will have an answer within a week or so of admission. We highly encourage you to follow our story, follow social media, talk to other students who are actually attending SIU, and get to know other people as well. Thank you so much, and I'll put my information in the chat for you. Have a great night.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Okay, University of Illinois Chicago, you're next.
Hello to everyone virtually. So I'm going to share my screen here. My name is Nita, and I manage West Coast recruitment endeavors for UIC, as we call the University of Illinois Chicago. So I'm on the West Coast, but happy to represent Chi-Town or Chicago. So you're coming back a little bit more towards Lake Michigan, kind of in the integral part of the city. This is going to be my contact information here. So moving on, we want you to have, I guess, a comprehensive education. So while education is great, Chicago, as you've heard from my fabulous colleagues, is also an amazing city. So from State Street shopping to 2 airports that we have here in the city to Navy Pier, lots of museums, where we want you to be close to our airports, but also experience the sports, the vibrancy, the food of Chicago itself. Here at the University of Illinois Chicago, or UIC as I'll call it, you are going to get a 24-hour pass called a U-Pass. So even if you don't have a car, we have plenty of housing on campus, which we'll discuss, but don't worry about that. You'll be able to get around. So we are the playground for your discovery. We have 86 majors, 32,000 total students, and about 22 or 23,000 are undergrad students. So definitely our undergrad students are reigning there at UIC. We have 400 plus student organizations, 200 plus service organizations, and then we are literally a living laboratory for field research and internships. So always something to do, and we're right on the heart of downtown next to lots of internship locales. We're at about 240 acres actually on the downtown region called the West Loop. So again, we have 86 majors, 70 minors. I would say the top majors coming from the West Coast right now are going to be psychology, business, definitely pre-med and nursing. We have 4 hospitals on our fabulous campus. Architecture has become a huge one. Theater and arts are very big coming from the West Coast. So no matter what your major, there's a medley of things to do. We have awesome instructors who generally work in the field. Oftentimes they're able to assist students in getting internships and give them kind of firsthand real world information. So we're very big on making sure that you have classrooms, technology, and professors who are very up to par. We do offer 110 master's and 66 doctoral programs if you're looking to further your education. We have the only public law school in Chicago, and we have a competitive honors program that you may be interested in. So these are some of the, I guess, bragging points that we've gotten more recently as being most transformative, one of the best public colleges, and then definitely a top 10 best value by the Wall Street Journal for the educational facets that you will receive as a student. And again, as you can see, this is a huge urban landscape, tons of internship opportunities. Google and McDonald's headquarters are somewhere over here in the West Loop. This is our campus. So there's ample places to really find yourself, and you're probably 5 minutes via the train here from a lot of internship locales. So moving on, we're also very big on diversity and making sure that students feel safe. So we've been ranked for most diverse. We are a premier campus for LGBTQ students. We're so diverse, we actually don't even have diversity numbers. And then we have 31% first generation students. So no matter who you are, whether you're coming from the West Coast or whether you're coming from just out of state or international students, we want you to truly feel at home at UIC. So as we get to closing, again, these are just kind of some of the bragging points that we've mentioned. We've talked about kind of majors. Again, we have 4 hospitals on site. So whether you're pre-pharmacy, pre-dental, physical therapy, etc., there are so many opportunities for you to thrive on our campus. We have 8 different dorms. You don't have to live in our dorms even freshman year. There is free laundry if you do. We like to offer amazing job prospects as interns and post-graduation. And then overall, Chicago is just a place of passionate Midwestern values, very kind people, very diverse. And we do have 200 plus study abroad opportunities that you can experience once you've become a senior. So as we get to closing here, we have 8 dorms that I've mentioned. This is one of my favorites, which is brand new, and it's a billion-dollar entity with a Starbucks inside, again, free laundry. So there are 8 dorms. Students can also opt to have an apartment or to commute, but this is probably one of my favorites of the dorms, if I may say so, really nice. So we, as we close, are on the Common app. So it's a pretty easy application. There is a fee waiver there, and I'm happy to explain the information on the fee waiver if you need it. Normally it's $60 to apply. We are test optional, so you can send us your ACT or SAT scores, or you can opt not to. So we really just need the Common app, official transcripts. I think letters of recommendation are always awesome. I also recommend that students do their best on essays on the Common app, because at our school, scholarships are often offered up by your department. So these are the things we kind of look at, but we give a holistic view to your application. And then as we close, 001776 is going to be our FAFSA code, but we offer a very generous merit-based scholarship for students. That's what most of my students out of state receive. And then we lock in tuition for 4 years. So these are some of the items that we do offer. Again, 1776 is our FAFSA code. And I thank you for your time. I will put my contact information, but we do appreciate you listening to us tonight, and I wish you each all the best. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, and at that point, we have reached the end of the presentation portion of the session. So I am going to ask all the presenters to hop back on, if you don't mind. And we're going to look at some questions, hear from everybody one more time. Okay. Wonderful. Alrighty, so we're going to go in the same order that we originally presented in. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Columbia College Chicago, what are your thoughts?
I would say, regardless of where you're going to go to school, a lot of students are still obviously on the fence. But it's not too early to really commit to applying for external scholarships. Checking to see what each college's rules or regulations are in place for that. But it's super important to get that money. Like, do your searches, contact some colleges. Columbia, we give a really good list of external sources that you can trust that aren't actually trying to get your money or anything like that. But create yourself a separate email account, and because you're going to get inundated by a lot of emails from those different scholarship finders, but search as much as you possibly can.
Absolutely, thank you. Illinois Institute of Technology, what is your advice?
Yeah, I would definitely encourage students to, go outside of their comfort zone a little bit. Look at a college that maybe you initially had not heard of. Really encourage you to visit that campus and see if it may be a good fit for you. I personally, in my college experience, that's what I did and fell in love with the school that I had never heard of until I talked to somebody at a high school visit. So I definitely encourage students to, look outside of those maybe 3 to 5 schools that you already know about and see who else is out there.
Thank you. Loyola, what is your advice?
Yeah, mine's going to be similar to Will's, but I'll just kind of expand on taking advantage of all of these virtual resources. So yes, keep an open mind and consider schools that maybe you've never heard of before. But one of the silver linings to this pandemic is that universities are offering a lot more virtually, like tonight's event. And I just encourage you to take advantage of some of these because you can start exploring some schools that maybe you've never even heard of before, or maybe some schools that are in a different country or across the country. And you can do that all from the comfort of your home. So take advantage of these virtual resources. And then my other little thing is if you are fortunate enough to go and visit a college in person, is to wear something that is either from your high school or from your home state or your hometown, because you would be amazed by how many conversations that sparks up with people just walking around. And then you can kind of start talking to people more about, oh, okay, what do you like about this school? So those are my 2 little pieces of advice.
Thank you. Southern Illinois, what is your advice?
Well, that is excellent advice. And I believe probably the one that's probably the most difficult for students is asking questions. Ask all the questions you can think of. There are no bad questions. We want you to ask. We're there. We can talk about our schools over and over and over again. So make sure that you do ask the questions because there's so much to offer. There's no way we can cover everything in this short presentations. So I highly encourage you, visit the campus, ask questions, bring your family, bring everyone. Again, there are no bad questions.
Thank you. And University of Illinois, what is your advice?
So I would just say to close, I think you just kind of have to find your vibe. So I always tell students, sometimes the vibe of us, those of us who are representatives in admissions represents the vibe of the campus. So that may help you. And then if you're truly torn, just think about the basics, the weather, if it's a big city or a large city, how close it is to an airport where you can get back home to your family. If you're just really torn and not sure where to start in the process, those are good starting points.
Thank you. All right, let's do one more question here. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And we'll jump back to Columbia College Chicago.
As I mentioned in the presentation, I would definitely want students to remember just how much you're being taught by industry professionals and how important that is, especially for the creative industries. We have professors that work for our large news networks here in Chicago in our journalism department, or Darrell Bay just won a MacArthur Genius Award, and he's one of our photography instructors. So it's super important to research a school and see, all you can about the faculty members that are actually teaching you. So I would want students to really remember that you're being taught by industry professionals and think about how many opportunities that will open up for you.
Thank you. Illinois Institute of Technology, what is one thing you want students to remember?
Yeah, I think something really important to remember, especially with STEM fields, is collaboration is key. You're really not going to work in a vacuum too much as an engineer or a computer scientist, and so remembering to think about schools that have that at their sort of core can be really helpful. So looking at schools that value collaboration, value that interdisciplinary learning, and give you a chance to experience that during the admissions process can be really helpful.
Thank you. Loyola?
Yeah, I would say one thing I want students to walk away knowing about Loyola Chicago is definitely our location. Having that true traditional college campus and still being in the city, still being in a large city is pretty awesome. I feel like students really get that traditional college experience while still getting all the benefits of being in a big city. So I know it's something a lot of schools saying the best of both worlds, but I have to go with that one. That's mine.
Thank you. Southern Illinois?
Southern Illinois University has a wide array of opportunities. Learning opportunities are endless. And above all, it's a very friendly atmosphere, very welcoming.
Thank you. And University of Illinois.
I always like to stress diversity to students. So especially with the tumultuous times that we have going on, you have to feel safe. Your parents have to feel safe sending you away to school. So we're very big. I always say diversity is so diverse. We don't have numbers, but we appreciate you. We, have a prayer room for students that need to pray at a certain time, et cetera. So more and more, that's very vital, especially for students of color, that they have that safety network.
Thank you so much. Okay, and with that, we are going to wrap things up. So a big thank you to our presenters for spending your time with us, putting time into putting these materials together. We really appreciate it. And thank you to our participants for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions. There's one more session this evening. If you aren't able to attend all of the sessions that you're interested in, you'll be able to find this recording as well as all the other recordings at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thank you so much again and have a wonderful evening.